Hi, everybody. How are you today? This is Danelle with Twisted Gypsy. I am here to show you something super cool. I am super excited. If you are jumping on, make sure you hit all of those thumbs up and hearts and maybe type something in the bottom. Just say hi. Let me know you're here. Feel free to sprinkle into your social media networks. I would greatly appreciate that so much. Um, I am so excited about this, y'all. I've been working on this and working on this and working on this for so long. For so long. I'm so excited. Of course, I didn't grab it. Hold on. So, for those of you that have been following and waiting to see, the art kits for the Highlander cow are finally ready to be released. They're finally ready for you to order. They're available to purchase right now. And I'm actually going to go through and give you a tutorial on how to do this from beginning to end. Like, I'm going to show you what your box looks like, what's inside your kit. And then we're going to paint together. And then guess what? I will give you a little sneak peek at a couple new ones that I've got coming that are going to be available for pre-order. I also have a kids kit coming too. So look, we are working hard over here trying to get all this stuff out. So I am so excited about this. You ready to get started? Yes? What do you think? Yeah? Maybe? Okay. So let me know where you're watching from. I would love to know who's seeing this. And if you see that little live button, that means we are live, of course, that little red button on top. But if not, you're catching the replay, hashtag replay. If you are catching this on any other platform, just make sure you say something, let me know you're here. So this is the package. When you order a kit, this is how it comes. It's a box. Has my little logo and all that wonderful stuff on it. It'll have your address right here because you have ordered it. We're just going to open it up. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay. So just to start with, we do all this extra padding to make sure that your canvas is super healthy and safe and nothing happens to it in transit. When you open it up, you get this nice high quality picture to use for reference for your painting. You also get detailed instructions, steps 1 through, I don't even know how many steps are in this. Let's check. 1 through 12. 1 through 12. They are included in this also. Also, there is a QR link in the box that is going to take you straight actually to this video, because after I finish this video and we're done being live, I'm going to attach it to YouTube, and anyone watching can come back and reference this video to see how to do this painting. We can do it together over and over and over again. So that QR video will bring you right back here. But guess what? You can give virtual instructions all the time. Okay, so then you have your canvas, and it comes wrapped in bubble wrap, just like this. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to tell you, I actually hand draw these canvases for you, so it's super easy for you to learn to paint. Now, when I teach my painting classes one-on-one, I don't do the canvases. We do them together with no pre-drawing, believe it or not. So your canvas comes like this. It's also got like a little envelope, plastic envelope around it to protect it, just in case, maybe there's water or something, or your box gets wet. There's your canvas, okay? It's pre-drawn for you, ready for you to paint. We're going to do that today. So, all right, y'all. We're still digging. Okay? Then inside you also have 3 brushes. You get 3 brushes sent to you. They're wrapped in this wonderful rubber band. I mean, high quality stuff here, guys. But the brushes are really nice. They're really high quality. You got a bigger fat brush, square tip, a small round tip, and then a medium. This is just, just a regular brush. And really and truly, you can use any brush you want. If you have other brushes at home, you are definitely welcome to use those. But here for this art kit, these are the brushes that you get. You get 3 brushes, small, medium, and large, easy to work with. And I don't know why I'm wrapping that back up, because we're going to use them. I also send you with a nice little paint palette. You get this little bag, and I put it in a bag just in case like something pops open. I don't want everything to get ruined. But inside your little Ziploc bag, you're going to have all of your primary colors plus white and black. Okay. And then as a bonus with this particular one, you get brown, because no matter what you try to do, blending to make brown is incredibly impossible. And then you get like a little spatula just to help you pick that paint out, put it in your palette. So that is your kit. The only thing that does not come in your kit is going to be a water cup, which you can use solo cup, whatever you want to do, paper towels. You will also get like a plastic apron to use to protect your clothes. These are acrylic paint, so it's not like, I mean, they'll come out with water soluble. They're water soluble, so they'll come out with water. So if you happen to get any on your clothes, just take a little dish soap and some water, some cool water, and just kind of scrub it off before you wash it. That's all you gotta do. But there we go. Are you excited? Tell me how excited you are. And isn't this going to be fun? I'm so excited to show you how to do this. This has been such a fun painting and such a fun creation. And it's been so long in the works. Like, I have been working on this forever. And now that I have this one done, I will very soon be announcing the winner to the free art kit. So if you missed it, you probably have maybe one more day to get on that link and hit the fill out that form or whatever to get put in the drawing. If you've already got this and you purchased it, it's probably already over and you're catching this replay. It's probably too late. But if you're catching the live, that little red button, you have one day. Okay. All right. So tell me your painting experience. Are you guys experienced painters? Do you know what you're doing, or is this brand new? This was created with the idea that you can not only work at home, learn to paint at home on your own time without, everybody watching. But if you want to have like a group of people over, like some of the girls, you want to come over and you want to sip some wine, you want to do your thing, guess what? I have an entire kit. Everybody can buy their kit. Y'all can hang out and have a little party. It would be so much fun. However, you could also use this video to walk you through those instructions, or you could just read the instructions. It'll take you through it step by step, okay? Or you can get creative. Look, creative freedom in the art world. You might look at this painting and you might think, I don't want a black background. I want a red background. I don't want yellow or pink flowers. I want yellow flowers. Maybe you don't even want a brown cow. Maybe you want a turquoise one. Y'all, turquoise is my color. I'm surprised it isn't already turquoise. So, is what it is. So we are going to get started. So are you an experienced painter? I asked that in the chat box down there. Maybe just kind of let me know. I'm curious. I'm curious how many people are looking to learn, or if this is just brand new for you. I mean, I'm super excited, or if this is something that, you're just kind of watching to watch. I'm good either way. Okay, so let's get started. This is really, 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 really easy, y'all. Really easy. And I know it looks difficult, but I promise it's not. So I do suggest you kind of just keep your little picture handy, because as you paint, some of these lines are going to get a little bit, not totally covered, but they might get a little bit covered. And my light is so bright. But see all those lines? You want to be able to kind of see what you're doing. You want to reference what colors go where, all of that good stuff. So to start with, the very first thing it's going to tell you to do is to paint your flowers, your green leaves, maybe some of your grass. You're going to have to go back and do a second layer later, but it's a great starting point. So if you notice in this picture, your flowers are actually pink and purple. There's a little red in there, but the base colors are pink and purple, and that's what we want to do first. So how do we make pink? Do you know how to make pink? Type it in the comment box. What do you think? Pink is made with red and white. Now, first thing I'm going to tell you about mixing paint colors is your darkest color is going to be your dominant color. So you're going to want to make sure that you use more white, less red to make your pink. Okay. Now, when you also do that, just remember that as we work through this, you might have to do that a couple times. Don't always try to match that same exact paint color. It's okay if there's different shades. It actually gives it depth and whatever. Your painting is not going to look like my painting. My painting is not going to look like this original painting, I promise. As we go through it, things change. It can't always be exactly the same. And if it was, it wouldn't be art. We just print it on a computer, right? Okay, so I'm going to take my little scooper here. I'm going to put just a little scoop of white on my little tray here. And then I'm going to take my paper towel. I'm going to wipe off that white because we don't want to mix colors, right? We'll wipe off that white. Then we're just going to grab a little tiny bit of red. And I'm just going to mix it up. Now, you could either use this little thing to mix it, or you could just use your paintbrush. It doesn't matter either way. So that's a pretty good first starter color. You can see it. My light ain't too bright. See, it's a pretty good starter color. It's pink. I'm going to wipe this off, get it ready. Okay, that way it's ready for the next colors. And we are going to start, and it's not a huge space. So my first brush, the biggest brush, I like to call that brush Big Daddy. Big Daddy gets the job done super fast and quick. Okay, so if I reference Big Daddy in this video, it's because I want you to use a big brush. Little Mama is the medium brush. Little Mama can do the big jobs and the little jobs. So if I say get your mama brush, get your medium brush, okay? And then we have our little brush, our baby brown brush. Babies are good for just very few things. They're super cute. We love them very much, but they can't do a whole lot, right? So your little brush is going to be your baby brush. So if I say get your baby brush, that's what I want you to grab, okay? So first things first, we're going to use our mama brush, the middle, okay? And I just dip it in the water and then wipe that excess water off because you don't want it super runny, but you don't want it super thick either. And then I grab that pink paint. I'm going to put that pink. If you look here, I have 2 flowers that are pink. I'm going to paint those flowers and reference my image. Don't feel bad if you have to keep it close because you know what? When I paint these and it's time to replicate it, in order for me not to change it up, I have to reference mine too because my mind decides it wants to do different things all the time. So I'm constantly changing my mind, and because this is about painting this exact painting, I'm going to keep it close. So keep yours close too. Some people will use like little canvas thing, or what do you call it? Little easels or something to put them on. You don't have to. You can if you want to. But so there we go. So I got the 2 pink hearts done. You see that? 2 pink hearts. And all I did was just fill those in. And you can still kind of see some of my lines through there. I am going to change that light. It is just too bright. And I want to make sure that you guys can see. So let me move it a little bit. Maybe it'll be better like that. Okay. We got the pink in place. You see it? Okay. Now we need to do purple. How do we make purple? Anybody know? Drop it in the comments if you know how to make purple. I'm just going to drop my brush in my cup here. Grab my little thing here. First color is going to be red. Second color is going to be blue. Always add a little bit of white too. So blue is my dominant color. I'm going to close up my white. I'm going to grab a little bit of red. We don't need too much purple, so I'm not going to grab too much. Just like a little bit, okay? I'm going to put it down there. Kind of wipe it off because we don't want to mix colors in our little color box there. Okay. I'm going to open my blue. I might need to close that so it don't fall out. Now you can also pull these apart. Like if you want these to all be separate and pull it apart, you can. You can pull these completely apart, take a scissors maybe and chop them up. You can spread them out. Then you don't have to worry about spilling them. You can leave them all open as you want. All right, now I'm going to grab just a little bit of blue. Don't need much. It's my dominant color. It's a dark color. Okay, I'm going to put that in there. Maybe kind of mix it up just a little. I'm actually going to use my brush because that is at an angle. I'm going to use Mama brush again. I'm just going to kind of mix it up. Now, sometimes I will have to go back and add more. See, I feel like I need more blue. So we're going to grab a little bit more blue. Okay. Yeah, that's close. That's real close. Now I need to add some white. So let me clean this off. White, if you get any color in white, it changes the white for sure. So make sure this is good and clean. You might want to even use like a Clorox wipe or something to wipe it off in between. I'm not going to because if my colors mix, I can deal with it, but it's entirely up to you. If you want to make sure that don't happen, Maybe use a Clorox wipe. Grabbing some white, not too terribly much. Gonna put it in there like that. Grab my brush, kind of mix it up. There we go. Oh, what a great color. I still think I need a little more blue. Y'all, blending colors is to each their own. You can do whatever you want. Okay. Clean that off. Grab just a little bit more blue. Okay. Rinse it. Mix it up. There we go. That's perfect. Okay. So now we got a nice purple color. Can you see that? Look at that nice purple color. And now I'm going to go over the rest of my flowers. I have one here, down below, one there, and then one up there. So I'm going to kind of do it so you can see. Usually when I paint sideways, things end up a little funky. So hopefully that's not the case, but we're going to do it anyways. I'm not worrying too terribly much about the lines because flowers have squiggly lines. And if I go outside those lines, it is incredibly okay. Also, this is not so thick that I can't see my other lines. So I will be able to see my highlight lines later. Okay, there we go. You're going to like the quality of these acrylic paints because they just go on this canvas so nicely. This canvas is pre-treated and pre-drawn just for you. So now we have this purple and pink, and it's really more of a lilac-y. I probably could have added more blue. I might just pick up a little bit more blue and mix it in there because that is not very purple now that I'm looking at it. It's okay though, no matter how your color comes out, it is okay. I am not afraid to mix on my canvas, but if you screw up or you want to do it, you think your color's not right or you want to make it more purpley like I am, you can always just kind of let it dry, mix the new color, and go over the top. The best part about painting is there's no right or wrong way, and anything is fixable. So even if you decided that you don't like the whole thing, you could scratch it all and paint completely all over it and you'd be totally fine. Okay, so now that I got that done, I'm going to rinse my brush. To clean your brush, okay, you hold your brush like this, kind of place it on the side on the bottom. So when you're on the bottom of your cup, you're going to go back and forth, not squishing your bristles like this, back and forth like this, getting all that paint out of there. Now, no matter what color your water is, no matter what color your bristles become, if you get the big chunks of paint out and you dry that thoroughly, like this, you dry that thoroughly, even if there's a little paint coming out on there, it doesn't matter. Your brush is dry, there's no big chunks of paint in there. Guess what? There's not going to be any weird color transfer, okay? Just a nice little tip to know. For those who have never painted before, that is a good tip to know. All right, so now we're going to do green. Now, with your green is a really, it's really more of like a grass green. It's a really pretty green, but it's a really dark green. So you might want to lighten that up. And if you do, you're just going to put a little bit of white with it. So again, you can use your little scooper if you want to. Put it on in your palette. Clean it, grab you some white. Oh, I'm making a mess on my table, y'all. Grab some white, just like this. Okay. And then take your brush, again, using your mama brush, your medium brush, mix it up, and you should come out with a lighter white. If you don't like the color, you want it even lighter, add more white. If you want it darker, add more green. Okay, I'm happy with that color, so I'm going to go with it. Now I'm going to color all of the leaves. I am going to go ahead and put some color in where the grass is on his mouth. See, the grass on his mouth and these leaves up here. But I'm going to probably paint over a lot of that grass, but it'll give me a guideline, okay? So we're just going to color the leaves in, just like this. Now you also notice that we do have some like little dots kind of hanging out in the outside in the background. Now you can either add those pink, red, whatever color dots you want now, or you can wait. I think in the instructions it tells you to do it when you're doing the flowers, but we're actually going to do it at the end just because it makes things a little easier. It's totally up to you though. If you want to do them now and you have those colors ready, feel free to do that. Okay, so we're just coloring all that in. Oh, there's another one over here. There's a leaf. Hopefully you can see that. Working at an angle and not standing up. It's like out of my zone, guys. I'm out of my zone. Now, all of these little sprigs too, they need to be, see all those sprigs in the tops? Those need to be green too. So we're going to go ahead and do those, although I'll probably have to go over it when I add the black. It's okay though, at least I kind of have an idea. Now I'm going to kind of show you a little bit about the process of doing sprigs, like grass, sprigs, trees, stuff like that. It's all the same kind of process, okay? And I'll show you here in a second. These are just kind of guidelines. They'll probably get highlighted and whatever. And if I don't stay directly on the lines, that's okay too. Don't feel like you have to. Okay. So I'm going to do a quick tutorial and show you super fast something super cool. Okay. So when you are doing things and you have like branches, trees, grass limbs, they have like these smaller tips, thicker bottoms, tops are kind of wispy looking. So there's a way to get that, okay? So you take your brush, put some paint on it, not terribly much, just put some paint on it. I'm going to flip it over so you can see. Now, the idea is to go press down, but then pull away as you come to the end. So press down and then pull away to the end. And it creates this really nice wispy type look. Press down, pull away. Press down, pull away. See how that works? Okay. If you need to practice it, practice it. It's okay. Take your time. No rush here. What do you guys think? What do you think? Are you excited about this? Are you so excited about this? I'm so excited about this. If you are watching this because you've already purchased and you're catching this like on YouTube or something like that, and you're doing it as you go, I would totally love it if you would just hit me up on any social media platform, email, whatever it is. My information should be in your box. I want to see the finished product, y'all. I want to see it. I want to advertise it. I want to push it all over. So even if you don't like it, if you want to know maybe tips, maybe you want to know, hey, this is how it came out. I don't like this. How can I fix it? How can I change it? Please let me know. I am here to help you and I will guide you through that, okay? All right, so after we get that done, we're going to start blocking in the Highlander's head. That's what the directions told us to do, right? Yep, should not take too long. This is also just a base coat. Doesn't have to be perfect. So with a tan color of paint, paint the area around the Highlander's eye, lower lip, and the area above the nose. So around the eye, like right here, the lower lip right there, and above the nose. Okay? So tan, you get this bonus brown. To make a tan, we're going to go through lots of different shades of tan. To make a tan, you're just going to grab that brown, using your little fine here. You're going to throw some in your little palette, and you're just going to add white to it to make it a lighter brown color, more white than you do brown. And sometimes even like if I wanted to have a little bit of a yellow tint, which this kind of does, I might just pick up just a hair of yellow. Not much, just a little tiny bit. Now I sent you a yellow color. There's no yellow in this canvas, but if you want to add a little bit of yellow, don't put much, just a little bit. Put it in there. That'll make a cool tan color, okay? Use your mama brush again. Mix it up. And you should come out with a pretty decent tan brown color. Now, if you need to add more white or more yellow, add more. I'm going to grab just a little bit more white. Okay. There we go. That's perfect. So I got this really light tannish color, right? Light brown, tan. If you want it more tan, add a little bit of yellow. I might just add just a little bit more yellow. Looking at it, I feel like it needs to be a little bit more hint of yellow. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right. Now it says to go around the eye. What does it say? Paint around the eye, the lower lip, and above the nose. So around the eye, right here, here's the eyeball. We're going to paint that. And if you feel like the mama brush is just too big and you're having a hard time staying between the lines, go ahead and switch brushes. Use your baby brush if you need to, okay? It's okay. I've done this a while, so I am a little bit more experienced. Don't feel like you have to do it exactly the same way. All right, so we went around the eye. Now we got the lower lip. Okay, and above the nose, which is all around up here. See all that? Okay. Just painting away. Having a good time. Actually, I think I need to put more grass in there, but that's kind of where we're at right there. You see it? Coming along, coming along. All right, with a medium brown color, paint the 3 large areas of hair on the Highlander's face. So there is some big chunks of hair. There's some here, there's some over here, all those like big chunks there. You're going to want to paint it with a dark brown. We are going to come back and add highlights. So it's going to seem overwhelming, but don't panic, okay? So a darker brown, I suggest you just go with the actual brown color that we already have that came with your kit, okay? So you have this beautiful brown color. I'm not even cleaning my brush. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. Now the rest of it, I'm just painting brown. Remember, we don't worry if it doesn't look exactly like mine or exactly like your neighbors. If you have friends over doing this with you, everybody's is going to be a little bit different. Everybody has different hand control. Everybody sees things different. Patience is a wonderful thing. Just kind of remember, it's like building a house. It takes time. It's not something you're going to be able to do and have never done without any issues or imperfections. Also, I'm going to tell you that I always have imperfections. I always have problems with my paintings. There's always something that I don't quite like about it, but you know what? In the end, it's about the experience, and that's what I like it for. So, no panicking. All right. So we're just going to keep on going. Painting is a wonderful thing to do. It is great for your emotions, for working through issues. It's great for calming your mind. And this right here, having the lines already drawn for you, it's kind of like just coloring on a coloring book. This time we're just using paint and a paintbrush. Now, I'm not making sure all of my lines are entirely even. Like there's more paint in some portions, there's less paint in others. I'm not going to go back and fill that completely in. I'm going to let it be the way it is. You see? Just going to keep working it and let it be. Because once we do all of the other highlights, it'll work itself out. And believe it or not, y'all, we've been on this roughly 20 minutes. Now, granted, I kind of talked the beginning through. We kind of went over all your supplies and whatever else. We don't really have that much longer to go. Like we really and truly, once we get this done, then it is all about painting the background, the highlights. I mean, we still have the nose and the eye and all that good stuff, but there is not too terribly much left. And if you are catching this live, please let me know you're here. Tell me where you're watching from. Where are you watching from? I am in Texas today. Today it is miserably ugly out with lots of rain. We even have some flooding issues. It's not fun. I did run to Longview today and it was absolutely crazy. There was so much water on the roads. It is what it is, y'all. I'm ready for that sun to come back. But, so tell me about your weather. Do you have better weather? Is it nicer where you're at? I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Okay. Our big chunks are done. Can you see it? It's starting to come together. Can you see that? Okay. So there we go. With a clean brush, remember how we said to clean the brush? Put it in your cup, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then dry it. You can paint the horns white. If you want to create a little bit of shading, you can add a line of tan at the bottom edge of the horn, then run a clean brush back and forth. The tan will blend in with the white and it'll make the horns look rounded. Okay. Okay. And then we are going to paint the nose after that, which is exciting. Okay. So white. Now here's the hard part with this, and I'm going to tell you straight off the bat, because we are working with a white canvas, it's going to be really hard to see that white. But it does tell you to paint the horns white. The horns come out on this side here, just a small little one, right? And then we got the big one that's exposed over here. We're going to paint that white. And then it tells you to take a little bit of tan along the bottom to make it look rounded. We already have that tan color made, right? I'm not going to use much tan, y'all. I'm going to dip my tip right here in the tan, and then I'm going to wipe some of that off like that. So there's barely any on that brush, okay? And then I'm just going to do a nice light line along the bottom like that. And I'm going to use my fingers and just kind of blend it out. You can take your brush, though, if you want to, and just kind of back and forth and back and forth and back and forth to create. It makes it look like it's rounded. That's all it does. Makes it look like it's rounded. That light is still too bright. Hold on, y'all. Driving me insane. I want you to be able to see that, and you can't see it from a distance yeah. So we gotta do the same thing on the other side, just a little bit of tan on the bottom, kind of blend it out. Oops, I went over. That's okay. We're gonna add highlights later. So I know that's hard to see because it's white on white, but it is what it is. All right, then it tells us to mix a little bit of red paint with the tan to create a dusty rose color, which really equals out to about 20% red, 70% tan, 10% white. Okay, so we already have tan, and we already have, let's see, we don't have red out. So I'm just going to take this red and the tan that we already have, and I'm just going to grab my actual mama brush and just dip it in there. I'm not using much, just a little bit. I'm going to mix it up. I might need to add just a little bit more. So clean my brush, grab some red, mix it up again, and then it tells you to add just a little bit of white. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to grab some more white, open that baby up. Okay. Now sometimes it's hard to tell what it looks like in these little grooves of this palette, so you might want to just take it and just test your color. I think it looks good. I like it. Now it wants me to paint the nose. And we're going to paint that whole nose with this pinky color. And if you don't like it once it hits the canvas, you can always change it up. And I do feel like it needs to be a little bit more red and a little bit more white. Okay. Mix it up. Maybe even a little more white. All right, let's try that. So, yep, much better. Now I'm happy. Now, it's like I said, it's not going to be exactly the same. Nobody's is going to be exactly the same. What you want is a change in color. You want a change in color to signify that that is the nose. I'm using my mama brush to paint this on. However, if you feel like she is too big and you think baby brush should work better for you, grab that baby brush or that smaller brush and use that. It is entirely up to you. There's no right way or wrong way to do this. Just follow the lines. Okay. All right. So if you need to now, you're going to paint a second layer, pink or purple, over the Highlander's floral crown and green over the leaves. Honestly, once I put the highlights in there, I don't think I'm going to need it. But unless you painted it really, really thin and watered it down so you can see that, there's still the lines. I want to be able to see those lines. So I'm not changing mine at all. But if you feel like you need more, now's the time to do that. Now we get to add the hairy texture. So don't overthink it. Start with the ears. Follow the shape of the different sections of hair in the face, body. Use light pressure on your brush. Paint quickly. Add some crazy hairs coming out from under the hat, near the horns. Okay. Also, down here at the bottom, you want to paint all of that like a brown color too. So all of this, we're going to go ahead and do that first, and then we're going to do all of our highlights. So I'm actually going to make more of a tan color. I'm just going to put it in the same one, even though there's some red there. I'm going to grab some of this white. I'm going to mix it up because we need to do all of the bottom parts, and it won't be the same brown. It'll be different. It'll be lighter. It'll be darker. It doesn't matter. The different shades are going to change that up. So now we're going to paint the body. Okay. Paint the body right through here. All of that body we need to paint brown. And then we are going to, I missed that step when I was reading it, y'all. I'm sorry. But that is the next step. And then we will add the highlights like it tells us to do. Now, the hard part here is to go around your blades. That's why I said we're going to actually go over our blades of grass a little bit later. I just kind of put them in for reference now. So if you overlap or if you cover one up accidentally, it's okay. Once it all dries, we can add more green and it'll look wonderful. I promise. Okay. Just trust me in this process. This is a lot of fun. It's like building a house though. You know, there's some parts about it that you're going to look at and go, I don't think this is right. And then when it's all done, you're going to be so surprised because it will be beautiful. It will be beautiful. And normally I don't do a painting beginning to end live with you, but now that we are doing these kits, they are going to be done every single time I have a new design come out for a kit. I will paint it live at least once, so you can either have your supplies on hand and be ready for those releases, and you can do it all from yourself, you know, all by yourself. But if you need the kit with the drawing on it, those will also be available. This one here should have a link attached if you want to purchase it, and make this one for yourself or maybe purchase them for a friend. I'm also hoping that, you know, we all have this, Tori and I have a booth up at the Grove in Shreveport, downtown Shreveport. I'm hoping that I get some of these extra kits put up there. However, I've already got a lot of them. People have already kind of claimed some, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to put them together fast enough, but I'm going to try. So if you're looking for one and you just have to have one right now, and it happens to be the weekend that we're open up there at the Grove, feel free to go get one if you're in the Shreveport area anyways, locally. Okay, now we are going to add all of the highlights. So I'm going to grab this one and show you. There are white, black, different shades of tan. Have fun with this. This is where it starts to come to life. This is where your painting changes, y'all. This is it. It's right here. Now, I'm going to actually work with a baby brush. Baby being your smallest brush, remember? Okay. And I'm going to start with white. White is going to seem aggressive when you first do it. I'm not mixing nothing, but I am going to grab that white and I'm going to just whoop. Remember that process I showed you? Press, pull, press, pull. You're going to press down and pull away. There's no right or wrong way, but if you can still see some of your little lines in there, you can follow those lines. Make sure you have some coming out from underneath your crown. Get some funky fun lines. There we go. Have fun with it. That's what this is about. No right way or wrong way. It will not look exactly the same, I promise. Nobody's is going to look exactly the same, including mine. Mine will not look like my original, but hopefully it'll be somewhat close, at least close enough for you to recognize it, right? Now, part of the trick here is kind of finding those lines and those grooves. You see that? Where that hair is? Like, for example, here's a piece of hair that comes down right here, right? We just blocked it off in some brown colors. So now I'm just going to kind of give it some, I'm going to move with that line. Move with that line. Okay, now that we got that done, now we're going to add some black because black is so fun. Okay. We're just going to add some different shades and colors and Good stuff. No right way or wrong way. Anything goes here, y'all. Anything goes. Have fun. I can't stress that enough. Don't stress over it. Just relax and have a good time. Don't think too much. Put some fun, wild ones coming out of his ears because you've seen those Highlander's ears. They're crazy. There we go. Okay. There we go. Looks good. Looks good. All right. So maybe some lighter tan colors. Also, you have to start thinking too about like down in here. And those lines are pretty prominent for me. Like I can see those. Some blacks and some regular browns really is all that we use down there. We don't really use any white in this one, but I mean, you can if you really want to. Different shades. Oops, where's my black? There it is. Okay. And maybe make it like apparent down in there. Lots of black. Just kind of give it some separation from the head to the back body. There we go. Looking good, looking good. No, if you're not sure, if you like it, if you're not 100% sure, acrylics are designed to be looked at a distance. So maybe take a picture of it or step back and look at it from a distance. Your mind will change, I promise. See? Looks good so far, right? All right, so let's add just a little bit more tan. Maybe pick up a little extra white, mix it in with that tan that I have. Make it a little lighter. Okay. And I'm going to put those colors kind of going through the bottom in different areas. Just like that. Kind of overlapping some of those black lines. You don't have to if you don't want to. Giving it some dimension. I'm going to put some of them up in here too, just for a change in color. Okay. Just for a little bit difference. And if I'm picking up some extra paint from some of those black or white, that's okay too. Okay. It's all right too. All right, last thing I want to do is maybe some solid brown in the body because that is like a huge thing here. When I teach these classes, when I teach them in person, they're usually about a 2-hour class. We are knocking this out in a whole lot quicker time. So if you need to pause and come back, feel free to do that. It's entirely up to you. Looks good, doesn't it? All coming together, all coming together. All right, so we did all of the highlights on the head, the ears, the detail brush, add a thin white highlight. Let's see. Oops, I skipped a part. Let me go back. Use light pressure on your brush, paint quickly, add some crazy hairs, start to think about your... Okay. Now we need to do the nose and the eye in black. So all you do, the nose, nostrils, not the nose. See that eye and the nostrils? We want to do that in black. Okay. And we're also going to do some highlights in black around. We might wait until the very end. Let me see what it tells us. Yeah, it does tell us to do at the end. My bad. Okay. Okay, so now we got the eyeball done. We got the nose done for the most part. Now I need you to clean your baby brush because now we are going to do a few more highlights. We are going to do white highlights. So you need to make sure this is clean. Clean your brush. We're going to do white highlights in the nose and in the flowers. We're going to add a few more colors to the flowers, and then we're going to work on our background. All right. So white There's a few spots, directions tell you where to do it, but around at the top of the nose right here, just some broken lines. It doesn't have to be perfect. There are some lines there if you didn't paint over them. Really no right way or wrong way. Okay, see that? Now you also have these little curves inside your flowers. That's why I said don't worry so much if you can still see those lines. As long as your color is good on your flowers, you don't need to paint a second coat, but it's up to you. So all these little lines, now do we do all of them? Nope, we do some of them because we're also going to add, and if you can't see your lines, just put little tiny curves up in there. Can you see that? Little tiny curves. Little tiny curves showing the change in the flowers. We're going to add some red to the pink. We're also going to add some blue to the purple. So don't spend a lot of time on this, y'all. Just kind of whip through it. Use your baby brush. Go over those lines or make some new curves, whatever. Okay. You see it? Now we're going to add the purple. Same thing. Just kind of a couple different places. There we go. And it just kind of changes with the flower because you want to make it look like a flower. There we go. See? Pretty cool, huh? You also need to put a little highlight in the eyeball. So we're going to do a little short line right here. See that little short line? And then the back of your paintbrush, just dip it in your white and just do a little dot right here. See? Little dot. That's it. So that should be, now's the time too to maybe go through and make sure you don't want to add any more white to your hair because we're moving on and you're not going to really want to come back. I mean, you can, when it's all said and done, you can, but now's a good time to grab some of that white and do some last minute, just like that. Okay. Now we are going to work on we're going to add, the colors. So red, clean your brush out. I'm just kind of pulling the paint out in a paper towel, but you can clean it all together if you want to. Using your baby brush, we're going to add red. We're going to put some of those red highlights up here in your pink flowers. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect, just wherever. Couple of them. Like I said, don't spend too much time on this. If you overthink it, you're gonna screw it up. Okay. See? Now we're going to grab some blue. So clean your brush. Put some blue in the purple, the same exact way. Same exact way. So what do you guys think? How do you think your cow is coming along? If you were watching this, even if it's in the replay, I want to know. What do you think? Okay, so now we're going to add some, boom. Same way we did the red. Showing movement in the flowers is what it's doing. It's giving it depth. That's so important in paintings to make it look like it has depth. You don't want just a flat, boring image. If that's the case, we'd be doing a coloring book, okay? So, almost done. All right. Oh, and then we also need to add the white in the leaves. I missed that part. Man, follow directions better than I am. This is what happens when you're going live and trying to teach something. Okay, so grab some white, clean your brush, grab some white in your leaves. You're going to put some of those little viney lines. Some of them, if you can see through it, wonderful. If not, I'll kind of look at your picture for reference. Doesn't have to be perfect, but they do need to be in there, okay? Maybe add just some to your white. See? There we go. Now we are, I believe, 100% ready. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. Okay, so now we are 100% ready to work on our background. I suggest you use Big Daddy because he gets the job done, right? And we are using black. Black is a heavy color. Be careful. Now, if you We may want to go around, like with the baby or mama, around the actual cow itself so that we don't end up getting crazy and painting over it. Now, there are some little, like I said, colored specks on the outside. Some people are going to choose not to do those colored specks. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want. But if you do decide to do it, just make sure you don't paint over those. When I originally did this, I did paint over those. So it happens to the best of us, y'all. Don't worry. Trust me, I have done it myself many, many, many times. Okay, going around that horn. There we go. Now, another thing you might want to do, and especially because you're probably working and have more time, but is make sure that you are painting the outsides, like around the outsides of your canvas. Gives it that rounded canvas look. It's just a professional thing. It's just one of those tiny little things that artists like to do to give it a professional feel. Okay. So I'm basically taking the Big Daddy brush and I'm going over a majority of the outside section as quick as I can. Okay. Just like that. And I'm going to come back with a smaller brush for some of these little detailed areas because we don't want to spend too much time on it. Okay. There we go. I'm telling you, it's just a background. Just a background. And luckily, it's all drawn out, so it makes it easier for you. Are we having a good time yet, y'all? What do you think? What do you think? All right, here we are. Now grab your mama or your baby, whatever you're comfortable with. Of course, I use mama for just about everything. And I'm going to go around all of these little detail parts. I am well aware that I am probably getting paint all over my hand. Won't be surprised if it's not all over my clothes. Okay, there we go. Going around those sprigs, which in the very end, when we do our last minute touch-ups, we'll probably fix those up a little bit because they're really hard to like paint around. So if you screw up, don't panic, okay? And I did just kind of screw up. There we go. It's okay. So prime example of how people can screw up, I did put in its horn. I put the black in the horn, so I'm gonna have to fix that, but that's okay. I'll do it. Not a problem. I will now show you how to fix your painting if you screw it up. All right, going around those circles. I know this is kind of the boring part, y'all, so just bear with me. We're almost done. Your painting should be almost finished unless you are stopping and coming back and stopping and coming back. But we are almost done with this whole thing, believe it or not. Doesn't take long. Just a couple little final details. Making sure I don't screw up that horn. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, just a few more. Coming around this side now. Okay, almost there. The very last part of our painting is to fill in these circles, and then maybe to do a little bit of outlining in black. That's all we have left after we get the background done. Now, a lot of times when I teach my classes, if you come to any of my live events, you will know that we always do the entire background first. The difference between having something drawn on canvas and having something created on the fly is just a little bit different. So that's why if you're getting this from me and it's, something you've never really seen me teach this way, because we always do it in layers, starting with the background first. It's because if we were to paint that whole background, you wouldn't be able to see any of your lines. So it's just a different process. It all comes out the same. It's just a little bit different. And truthfully, for me, it actually takes longer to paint this way, but it is easier for people to learn this way. It's easier for them to see the difference in design, style, all that good stuff. Looks good, doesn't it? Aren't you excited? I'm so excited. Okay. Oh, I did miss some. Why didn't you tell me I missed some? Look at that. Okay. So I told you I screwed up. I put black in the horn. Now I'm going to make this work because it's kind of wispy anyways. So I'm just going to add some tan over the top once it dries and turn it into part of his hair. All I'm going to do. Just going to go like that. See how easy that was? All gone. Problems gone. No problems. I didn't screw up. You didn't witness that firsthand. I promise. Okay. All right. So now we want to go around around parts of your flowers, maybe around parts of your nose and stuff in black. You're going to use your baby brush because this is fine detail lines. And when I say parts, pay attention. I don't want you to do the whole thing like a coloring book. Just pick a few areas, skip a spot, go around, just like that. Okay. It just adds to the real life look of it. And it also helps separate some of these things, like this leaf here, for example. I can kind of just change that up a little bit. There we go. And if I'm finding that maybe I didn't fill it in very well or something, here's a good part, a good way for me to fix those lines, okay? Now, I know when you got this kit, you thought, is that going to be enough paint? Did she send me with enough paint? Look at this. I still have 3/4 of the paint that I sent you. So your next kit, you might have leftover paint to play with, right? Okay, go around here, separate this out. Broken lines, y'all, not solid lines. Okay, we're almost there. Now I want to do around the nose, broken lines, around the mouth, bottom lip, separating all of that out. Is there anywhere else I wanted to do that? Let me look. I don't think so. I think it looks pretty good. I'm just going to kind of clean some of this area up here because I didn't go all the way to the end. Now's a good time to take that baby brush, and if you see some of your lines aren't overlapping very well, you still have a lot of white showing that you're not happy with, this is when you fix it, okay? This is it. This is when you fix it. Look how cool. Last part. This is all we have left, y'all, is these little dots and stuff on the outside, and then we are all done. That's all she wrote. That's your entire painting. So those colors are blues and reds and pinks and purples. You get to pick those colors. Those are up to you. I'm going to start. I'm going to use my baby brush, my smallest brush. I'm going to use the colors that we already have mixed out. Some of this purple. I'm going to put some of that up here in the outside. And I am kind of picking up some black from the background because I didn't let it dry all the way. That's okay to me though, but if you want to let yours dry, you might want to let it dry. I'm just picking up a couple different things. And I'm not even filling all of those circles in. You see those? It's up to you. You can do whatever you want, but now I'm going to grab some pink. I'm not even cleaning my brush. I'm going to go over those areas too. Cleaning my brush. Or not cleaning my brush, I'm sorry. Just go over those areas and kind of, they almost look like raindrops or water splats. Not really 100% sure what we were going with that. See? Look good, huh? Now we're going to do blue the same way. But this time I'm going to do blue and white. So I'm going to grab some of that blue, the baby brush. I'm going to pick a couple spots and just kind of not fill in the whole thing, but fill in parts of it. Kind of gives it this purpley look. Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it. Now I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to grab some straight red to go with that blue. I like red. Okay. A little bit more there, maybe there. Okay. Y'all, next to letting it dry, painting is complete. Now, there are some things I didn't do, but you guys can do that on your own time. Paint these sides, right? Make sure you add your name. Every artist needs their name on their painting. So take a Sharpie if you want to, or use that baby brush. Paint down there in the bottom, put your name. You are the artist, and I want to see these when you've completed them. So if you are watching this as a replay with a tutorial to walk you through this whole thing, when it's all done, I want to see it finished. Okay. In the meantime, if you are interested in trying this, you want to order your very first kit, there should be a link provided. I will also, and I did tell you, if you're catching this, I'm going to show you a sneak peek at the new, we're doing some craft ones. Now, these are painting craft ones, okay? So they're in the works. They are coming, but they're going to be available for pre-order. You should possibly see those. If not, they'll be up in the next week or so. But I have two of them. These are wood board paintings. You may have already caught the live where we did the piggy on a wood board. This one, you can order this one with or without a stencil. If you want the stencil, it comes with this one. It says, "Don't go baking my heart." It is going to be more if you add it with the stencil, okay? We're also going to pre-order the chickens. So you can pre-order these. We are working on making the boards and getting all the designs ready, the packaging, all of that good stuff. But you can also order a stencil, though there will be a stencil attached to the order thing. So if you want to order that, you can also order that stencil to go with this one. Those are optional, though. If you just want the painting will come with a board, just like this, pre-made, with the drawing on the top, just like everything else. And stencil, if you get it with the stencil, you get all the supplies you need with it. All right, y'all. I can't wait to see what you come up with. I can't wait to see your paintings. I thank you so much for joining me. I want to know what you think. If you have any questions at all, DM me, hit me up, let me know. I would be happy to help you. Thanks for joining, y'all. Have a great night. Bye. Or day. Maybe it's a